we're up here inspecting more water meters. Kind of show you how quickly this is done. You got to clean off the top of the meter, open up the lid.
Oh, we have a present.
Uh-oh, we have something in here.
Oh,
Holy smokes.
man.
That's little surprises up here on the water meter inspection day. Hey, it's another great day in Southern California. A little bit rainy. That's okay. There's a new law EPA has. It says all the cities across America have to assess their water lines, make sure there's no lead in them, leading up to these beautiful homes. Might give our wonderful residents lead poisoning, like they did out in Flint, Michigan. My job is to inspect the water meter boxes we have up here, make sure there's no lead in them. I'm going to share with you in this video all the horrible things and the dreadful job it is to inspect these boxes. But the first thing you come across is you got to find the box in the first place. All right, so we're working again this morning. Way down there, way inside there. Holy smokes. Here's another water meter. In here, somewhere, way up there. So these guys are just really, really hard to access. This one here is really typical. We got this beautiful, beautiful lavender sculpted garden. Somewhere in here is the meter, but we're not going to go in there and jack up anything because it's just way too nice. Now when you find your box, you're about to open it up, you need to be aware of all the little critters. They're going to be hiding down there in that hole. All sorts of cockroaches down here. Look at this. Try to zoom in there and check them out. Holy smokes! Oh, look at these guys scurrying around. That's kind of disgusting. Hey, we're out here checking some water meters down there, and we found this guy right there. It's called a false widow, or a false black widow. This is a female. She's got that big bulbous abdomen there with all her eggs. We have another nice box here. This one right here. It looks good, but right up there, see that? We got some, looks like rat feces. You know, rat poop. You don't know what kind of disease you're gonna get, so just be real careful. Down here, we have a toad. Right down there, he scared us, jumped right out of there. He's called a California toad, or a western toad. Yeah, I got something cool here in our meter, but we gotta be fast. It's all full of dirt here. This fellow here, there he is. He's called a slender salamander. Here's our last video here, before we call it a day. Man.
Look at all the ants.
Look at that big ant farm in there. Holy smokes, got all these eggs. These guys moving those eggs around. A bunch of ants down there. I'm gonna put my hand in there. Anyway, this whole, meter box is all jacked up on the curb. Now it's time to open up the box. But I'll show you what we typically find out there in the field. Hey, we're inspecting a lot of water meters. I'll show you our first one here before I get to all the rest. These exciting meters and surprises. It's all cracked here, see that? You gotta jack it all up, the whole thing falls apart. And holy moly, this thing is just full of dirt. You gotta dig in this to find all the little valves and stuff, so that's rather depressing. Anyway, we'll look at some more here that are very exciting too. Hey, we have another water meter to inspect. This one down here is all covered with dirt, and of course you open it up and it's just full of dirt, so it has a cracked lid, so we got to get that replaced, and let's see what's inside. Oh, come on. See, all this dirt from the gophers, they just bring it all up here, and this is wonderful. Look at this, absolutely great dirt. We'd probably just sell it. It's all like fertilized by the worms and the gophers, and just great, but you have to dig in here. It'll probably take you about 100 different scoops to get it out. Hey, this is real typical. So we got a meter here, and you just have to spend about 5 10 minutes just digging out all of this dirt. Because it just piles in there. See this big pile right there? It's from, I don't know, it just settles in here. It's from the gophers, other critters. Get in there, but we have... Hi, here's another one of our water meters we are inspecting this week. This guy here, he's got too many rocks in here. So you need to dig down beneath this utility or city side to access the pipe, but you can't do that with all these rocks. It's quite painful. Hey, we have another meter here. You notice this? That's for a pool. And down here, these will come up over for the pool. It's got a backflow on there. Oh, come on.
Go for gopher.
This is all from gophers. This one here looks pretty bad. All these roots. So you can't even dig down here to check out what kind of meter you have with all these junk. And down here, see, here I have my supplies all laid out for you on this beautiful little tarp. Safety vests, heavy duty gloves, water resistant, little nippers for cutting roots and things growing in the box. We have a shovel, narrow for digging. Device here for picking away at all the little rocky items and hard items, removing the lid from the meter box. We have a mirror on a telescope with a light, peeking the nooks and crannies. We have another mirror here. This tool here is for scraping away, removing a lot of crud from the pipes to get a good look at them. We have a hammer, a little one here for tapping. Probably get a little one, would be better. We have some flashlights. This flashlight's attached to a magnet on a string. You need the magnet to see if you have steel in there or not. We also have tape measures, little pipe caliper, get the dimensions of your pipes. I have an X-Acto blade here. Got this cup, we have some nickels. That's to scrape away the pipe, see if you have copper or lead. Extra magnets. Here we have a hand auger. You'll need this to take out the mud, some debris out of the nooks and crannies. Here we have towels for wiping up the mess. We have water bottle. Okay, spray on the pipes, keep them nice and clean. Little sponge here. A whisk broom, that's for cleaning up. Take your portable field iPad with a phone and a hotspot. Make sure you have to enter all the data you collect. Little notepad here with a pen. Lots and lots of chargers. You don't want to run out of juice in the field. Take water with you, plenty of water. First aid kit, suntan or sunscreening lotion, and Benadryl, because you're going to get bit or stung by something. I take along some bungee cords. Here's my laminated instructions. Make sure I don't forget anything. All this wonderful stuff. Pack it up nicely. Put it in this 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's or Home Depot, and then you mount that on my golf cart here. We can tootle around town. We'll head down here, we'll pick off, I don't know, 10 houses that way and 15 that way and wrap around to the beginning. You take care of these at a rate of about 30 minutes each, and maybe if you're lucky, I don't know, you get 15 done a day or so. That's the right way to do it. And here, we're going to open up our little water meter box. I'll show you what's inside. Now let's open up the box. I call this a window box. It's got two boxes here, one for the little meter man. You can read that. And you reach in here and you pull this guy off, put him down. All right, and there's our beautiful box. Oh my goodness. So after you find the box and you clean it out, you avoid all the little varmints in there. It takes about 20 minutes. You might want to use a heavy-duty portable battery-operated shoplift. Clean out the mess here. First of all, you look inside and look at that. You find an old penny. That's cool. So here's what we have. In the street, you have the main line, branches off on what's called a gooseneck right out here. And that gooseneck is connected to some piping or tubing leads under the street. Under here, it pops up at this device called a curb stop. Sometimes people call this a angle valve piping here. Now if you don't pay your water bill, this is where the water company, they'll turn this off and put a lock on it, cut off the main feed to your house. And that goes through our meter here. Comes out this side to the customer side, the customer shut off right here. That leads into your house, goes in your garage, your basement, or somewhere else. So the trick here, you have to clean up the box, and then you gotta, holy smokes, this is a good box too. See how junked up it is with all those rocks and things? So you gotta get underneath this side because we want to inspect this side, which is the city side. You want to see what piping is coming out from underneath. So let me clean this up and see what we got down there. Hey, so I have it dug out here. Now sometimes these boxes are really deep. Let me show you a few examples. Hi, we have another water meter box. We'll take a look at, it's got this big cracked lid. Got to get that replaced. Big tripping hazard. This thing is way down there. It's like a grave coffin site. This thing, look at my hand. I can't even reach the bottom. It's at least 3 feet deep, so you cannot get down there to figure out what's going on. We have another water meter. I want to show you. See this box? Full of dirt. Look how deep it goes down. Way down there. So to dig this out, you have to have arms like a orangutan, like that guy. 6'3". Arms are huge. Way down there, if you do dig it up, we're still not even at the utility side. See, that's just like a connector, a brass connector. So you gotta even go deeper. And before you get too into it, check for leaks and corrosion problems. I have a few examples here to show you too. Hey, we're checking out water meters. Down here's a leak. I just want to show you what to look for. Okay, here's the city side on this side, comes through the meter, comes out here to your side. We'll call this the customer side. See how she's dripping down there? Get on my knees. See if we can see where the leak is coming from.
Part of this here.
Yeah, so we have the valve here on top, right? On off. And it's all wet down there, so it looks like it's leaking just out of the top here of the valve. See, I'm gonna run my finger down there, it's a little bit wet. All right, so you see this, you got to call the city and they can come out here and fix it. Otherwise, you're getting charged for that. It's a disaster down there. It's just a bunch of mud, you know spider webs. This here, we have a leak. See that? It's leaking. Well, it looks like it's leaking right out of this little valve or connector here. It's a brass connector on our copper pipe. So we're gonna have to report that to the city. Hey, we have another box here. This one, he looks okay, but down there, see? All this steel is just corroding away, and then it jacks up this whole box, and then it ruins the pipes inside, and then you start to get a leak. That's a problem. See all this corrosion? That's what you get from that. Steel. Down here, all this junk is building up around our emergency shutoff. So there's a problem. We can't shut this little puppy off, but it's a nice copper down there, and we got probably copper or maybe PVC up the way. So no leaks here. Looks pretty good. And I dug this pipe out. See, way down here to the bottom. That's the pipe you want to see. On the way down, you're going to have some fittings here, probably made of brass. But down here's the pipe. And once you get to that pipe, it's probably going to be green or corroded or pretty dirty, so you clean it off the best you can. You get our nickel here. You scrape the edge of the pipe, just like that. And you scrape the edge of the pipe. Hopefully you'll see a little bit of a copper
looking pipe underneath. And right here, if you go way down there, see that in the mirror? You see a little bit of that brown shiny stuff right underneath on the pipe there. So that tells me this here is copper. Now if that wasn't shiny, it's a little bit drab, it might actually be lead. And the other way to tell, of course, is to get our little magnet here. Put a magnet down there. If it doesn't attach, that means it's not galvanized. It's only attached to like galvanized steel, galvanized iron. There you go. So this is a nice copper pipe coming up into our little curb stop. And the curb stop goes through this little pipe here, which is also going to be copper, but you could check it with your magnet. The magnet doesn't stick. Or you can also use a nickel and scrape it. You get that little glow in there, so that'll be copper, most likely right there. This is brass. We have our meter box. You could open it up, you could, check that it's working. All right. And then on this side, we'll take a look at the customer side. I'll clean that out a little bit. Way up here. See, it's all dirty and holes in there with lots of mumbo jumbo. So you got to clean all of this out. Okay. Now this is really soft. A lot of times this is just rock hard and just caked way down. So I was able to clean out this access to the homeowner side. And for this unit, it was pretty easy. The dirt was pretty soft. A lot of times you'll find homeowners will put mesh in here or foam and block it to keep all the little critters from going into their garage and their house. It gets real complicated or real tight and hard down there. That's where you use your auger tool, and you could put your auger in there, spin it around, and pull out all the mumbo jumbo that's up there to get access to our pipe. And at this phase, what you want to do is just verify you don't have any steel. You take your magnet and you run it across all the elements of our meter here, and if nothing sticks, that means it's not steel. So way down here on our pipe, you see that? Here's the little connector here made out of brass, and the pipe is exposed back in the bottom. So you take a nickel, this guy, you scrape the pipe, you see if you have any of that copper tint. And in the mirror, let's see if you get an angle there real carefully. You probably see where the copper is coming out of the outside layer of that pipe there. So that's a copper pipe. All right, so that's good news. You take your pipe caliper here, and you'll measure as close as you can up to the pipe. And this one here, I just did a little connector here, and you'll see it's 1 1/8. So the pipe is probably 1 inch outer diameter. You cross-reference a little grid chart that tells you if it's a copper pipe 1 inch outer. It'll tell you something like it's 3/4 inch pipe or 5/8 inch pipe, that kind of thing. All right, so that's what we have here. Hey, let me show you how to measure the pipes in our water meter here. It's our caliper gauge right at the hardware store. See that PVC pipe down there? You put it right around the pipe, just like that. And you kind of squeeze it together. Sometimes they have locking calipers so it doesn't slip. And here it tells you it's 1 1/8 inches. And 1 1/8 inches is about a 3/4 inch PVC pipe. That makes a lot of sense. If you're not really sure as well about what this material is, you can use a little hammer. You can tap it, and based on the sound and the ping, you can tell if it's steel or brass or some other material as well. That's something you could do, but don't use these tools too much. You'll damage the pipes. The next phase, of course, you have to take pictures. Like your iPhone here, and you just go down and you take a few pictures of what you have down there anyway, for documentation purposes. There we go. So you get a real good angle sometimes. Yeah, that's a good, there, see that copper right there? Oh, let's see if I can get that. Anyway, there we go. That's pretty cool way to inspect our pipes. This is an easy one. Got a little roly-poly working his way around. Take all your data based on your city. Get your little field iPad, enter in the data that you need for documentation purposes. Jot down any notes. Come out here with your little whisk broom and you tidy up your little mess here. Always leave this in a nicer condition than when you found it. Put the lid back on and you're all set to go. So there you go. Takes about, probably this one was probably 20 minutes. It's an easy one.
Like I said, most of these need a lot of clean out, a lot of bugs and things. So schedule at least 30 minutes per meter box and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching. Hope this was entertaining as well as educational. Have a great day. Bye.